Today's lecture is going to be about unions and the rise of the workers, or the worker response to big business and big industry, as well as a couple different economic philosophies that we will talk about. So, in the Gilded Age, as the industrialization of America creates these huge businesses and these industrialists, and we learn about the robber barons and captains of industry such as Carnegie or Rockefeller, it seems that they really do have all of the power. And one of the strategies for the common man, for the workers, is to utilize this, to formulate a union and go on strike as a method of voicing their opinion and kind of giving the worker a little bit of power, because with unions they're going to have power in numbers. So a famous union leader, Samuel Gompers, discusses, what should workers do? Sit idly by and see the vast resources of nature and the human mind be utilized and monopolized for the benefit of the comparative few? No. The laborers must learn to think and act, and soon, too, that only by the power of organization and common concerted action can their rights to life be recognized and liberty and rights secured. It's kind of alluding to the method of unionizing and going on strikes here, voicing his opinion. However, during the Gilded Age, there's an enormous gulf between the rich and the poor. In 1890, 9% of Americans, so 9% of the population, hold 75% of the wealth in the United States. Average worker earns less than a few $100s a year, barely enough to survive. What happens? Well, resentment towards the wealthy starts to grow among the working class. One of the responses is they formulate these unions. So various workers in certain industries will formulate a union. And the rise of unions with increased industrialization, they use this idea of collective bargaining, or power in numbers, where one group formulates one demand or a set of demands, and then that one group goes and bargains with the bosses, with the industrialists. They use a method of striking to give themselves some power. So if their demands are not met, they'll go on strike, they'll leave work, they'll stop working, so that the owner of the industry or the factory will not be able to make any money. However, the union suffers losses with poor economic conditions. 3 different unions here. The Knights of Labor, founded in 1869, they included all workers. It's one of the first unions established. And they include everybody, skilled and unskilled workers, men and women, ethnicities of all kinds. So they're a very inclusive union. American Federation of Labor, 1886, is more exclusive. So they only wanted skilled workers. And they organized by craft. So you have the railroad workers, you have the coal miners, you have the various other industries in there. And then one more specific union is the American Railway Union, 1893. All railroad workers, skilled and unskilled, didn't matter. As long as you worked for the railroad, you were going to be part of their union. Response from employers. How do the employers react to these unions? They use a bunch of different strategies. They fire organizers, forbid union meetings, force new employees to sign yellow dog contracts, essentially saying that the new employee will not join a union. They hire scabs, or people that will go in and break up strikes. So these are various responses from employers. Kind of move on to the 3 different philosophies, economic philosophies. Socialism is an economic and political philosophy, and the public, the government, should be in control of the wealth, not just the private individuals. And this idea of spread the wealth. Carnegie's gospel of wealth: when it comes to wealth, the sky's the limit. Make as much money as you can, and you're really good at it, so be the best as you can, and then use the money that you earn for the good of others. Give it away. Donate to charity. Be a philanthropist. Found libraries. And the last philosophy we're going to look at is social Darwinism. The wealthy are the most valuable in society. It uses Charles Darwin's idea of Darwinism and survival of the fittest. And the government needs to stay out of business because the strongest will survive, aka the